Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. And a very happy Tuesday from everybody here at Prime Sports World. On today's episode of the show, we're going to be breaking down week number 11 of Monday Night Football, and then we're going to open up that chapter and get into week number 12. I'm of course your host, David I. Point Huppin. I'm joined here by my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins, and from the Daily Blitz blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. If you like what we're doing here at Prime Sports World, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast as we continue to give you guys consistent, relevant content on a week-to-week basis. But yeah, thank you very much for that. That's the intro. Hello, gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. How is everybody doing?
See, he rude. He always got his microphone and shit muted. He rude. He's rude. But nah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. I'm glad. Without further ado, let's get right into Monday Night Football and a beatdown at the Death Star as the Dallas Cowboys beat the Las Vegas Raiders 33-16. Dak Prescott, talk about a virtuoso performance. 25 of 33, 260 yards and 4 tutties. Javonte Williams, 7 yards away from the century mark and had the most touches he's had so far this season. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, after being weirdly benched for like the first series in this game, both had receiving touchdowns. Also did Jake Ferguson and also did Ryan Florno. And then on the Geno Smith side, on the Raiders side, Geno Smith, not a great day at the office. Really head scratching, like just play calling for the Raiders as a whole. 42 pass attempts for Geno Smith for 238 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And you use a first round pick on Ashton Genty. You only give him 6 carries. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Brock Bowers, 7 for 72. Yeah. Trey Tucker had the lone receiving touchdown in this game. Also, shout out to Dallas Cowboys. First game back after the tragic passing of Rashad Breeland. Had to feel good to get a victory in his honor. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense because bad teams do bad things.
Okay.
Bad teams do bad things. So it makes sense. It makes sense for them to do something idiotic. Christian, am I wrong?
I mean, I'll never give you credit and say that you're right, but you might be on to something.
You validate the statement. That means I'm right. So
I mean, his carries, like you use a first round pick of this guy. So they beat Tennessee. He had 23 touches. You like to see 75 yards and a touchdown. Since that game, he's had 6 carries, 13 carries, 19 carries, and 6 last night. I think if you use a first round pick on somebody, you probably want to use them a little bit, but that's just me.
Yeah, most definitely. But I want to really tip my cap to the Dallas Cowboys because that's not an easy situation to come in and play after you lose a brother on your team. And even if they lost this game, which we knew they weren't going to, even if they lost this game, just them showing up on the field is a win in itself. You get what I mean by that? Like,
yeah.
A lot of teams, it's tough to flip that switch back to football after something like this happens. I remember saying this to you, David, after the whole thing with DeMar Hamlin happened with the Buffalo Bills. We were talking about that playoff game that they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm like, look, people can say that the window closed, but I'm sure football was probably the last thing on their minds back then. They almost saw their teammate die on the field. But this was probably,
and I think that's kind of like one of the benefits of having a guy like Dak Prescott on your team. Like,
he
seems like a really like a natural leader. Like,
most
been there,
Yeah, most definitely. But from the football standpoint, this is probably the best game the Cowboys have played all year long. I mean, the offense was in tune. If Dak throws the ball that many times a game, and I mean, he looked flawless in this game. The defense did what they had to do. Then again, it was against the Raiders, so TJ's not wrong. Yeah, bad teams really do bad things. But,
well, I did find it funny, when they had the post game interview, and I don't remember who it is right now at the top of my head, but she interviewed Dak Prescott. It's like, oh, what was the difference with this offense as opposed to the last couple of weeks? Well, playing the Raiders certainly helps. I mean, also you got to think they got Demarion Overshone, who played his first game this season. Siobhan Ravel, who was a third-round pick, who many people had a first-round grade on. He played his first game of the season last night as well. Logan Wilson and Quentin Williams, two guys that you traded for at the trade deadline, they played in their first game as a member of the Dallas Cowboys. And so you add these defensive Billy Hooker, who missed some time, also returned to the lineup after their bye. So there's something to be said about having players like that healthy and returning into your lineup.
Yeah, and I think the presence of Demarion Overshone is going to help because they missed that pass rush. He brings that. That's what he was at Texas. He was the guy that could get home to the passer on any down, and I think he can give Dallas that that consistent rush up front.
And as far as this being the best game the Cowboys have played this season, you can argue that with this. You can argue that with the Commanders game. That was a pretty complete game for them. It's on the Raiders side, like again, like it's just it's like them and the Giants, right? Like it's beyond frustrating. I mean, because at least with the Giants, like you see flashes, right? You see flashes of promise. You like you know the pieces are there in some capacity, right? Like you got what's his name? You got Malik Neighbors coming back a year next year. You got your QB of the future in Jackson Dart. You just got to teach his ass, hey bro, just slide, like live to play another down. Cam Scatterboo gonna be a problem for a long time to come. He got to stay healthy. And then on the defensive side, again, the individual talent is there. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau. You just got to somehow get that shit to jail together. On the Raiders side, it's way more frustrating because you got Max Crosby. You're not going to trade him. You have no QB of the future. Your head coach is 85 years old. I'm exaggerating, but not by much.
Not by a lot.
I'm exaggerating, but not by much. And your lone bright spot is offense. Well, not lone. Like your bright spots offensively are Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, and you're now kicking the tires on Michael Mayer because Brock Bowers has been hurt.
And I do like Trey Tucker. He's in his second season. Wide
Yeah.
I do like him, but I also don't really understand. Like I know Jackson Powers Johnson has been lost for the season. Same thing with Colton Miller. But like this offensive line was considered a strength of this football team last season, or at least for the last couple seasons, and it's just kind of like completely fallen apart. Geno Smith was getting killed in this game. He doesn't look particularly good, like a couple games here in a row, and this is the second game in a row, or second game this season where you have teams taking a kneel even before the 2-minute warning against your team at home, and like that's gotta. I mean, you can't.
Well, you can't do nothing but no. Do something about it. You got 58 minutes. I mean, hey, if I play a game for the first 57 minutes and 30 seconds. And the opposing team comes out in victory formation with 2.5, 3 minutes left, you have no right to be mad. You have no right to feel slighted. You have no right to feel any type of way. You had opportunities to do something about it, and that's their way of saying, "Hey, this game is."
Yeah.
I would have knelt at that. I would have took a knee at the 15-minute mark at the start of the quarter if it was fucking possible.
Yeah, but you petty like that.
Absolutely.
Good win for the Dallas Cowboys. Before we move on into week number 12, let's put a nice little bow on week number 11 with our game balls of the week. Christian, hit me with it.
Josh Allen, 6 total touchdowns. He ran for 3. He threw 3. And, I mean, he really had to put this Buffalo team on his back. I think this was a must-win game for the Bills, especially after you beat Kansas City one week and then you just dropped the ball completely against the Miami Dolphins. But he said, look, gather round. I'm going to take us to the promised land. And he did just that.
TJ.
The Philadelphia Eagles defense. This is that was personal. That was personal. Come Sunday night, like that was straight BTA.
bear with me. First one, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rushing attack. 47 freaking carries for 192 yards and 4 freaking touchdowns. As I guess a sort of mini upset against the Chargers on Sunday afternoon. And then Bryce Young, a little bit banged up in the week before, questionable if he was going to play in this game, but 31 to 45, 448 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game that they were trailing for majority of it. And he just basically grabbed them by their bootstraps and carried them into an overtime victory against the Atlanta Falcons in a game. I mean, they kind of had to win in order to stay relevant in the NFC. And then finally, God bless Bo Nix as they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go. But yeah, that's all we got for week number 12. If you got any game balls, leave them down in the comment section. Let's talk about week number 12. We're starting with Thursday night football. We got what could be a high-flying matchup here. I guess, Bills, Texans, Thursday night football. Texans obviously getting kind of escaping against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday afternoon. The Bills obviously put the wood. Just had a virtuoso performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a game they had to win in order to stay relevant in the AFC East. Texans, Bills. Last time these two teams played was last season. Christian, you remember who won that game last year?
Houston won that game, and I remember it being like the worst statistical performance of Josh Allen's career. I think he completed like 9 of his 30.
10 passes. Like, yeah, he was bad.
Josh Allen went 9 of 30 for 131 yards and a touchdown. They still somehow only lost the game by 3. CJ Stroud, 28 of 38, 331 yards and a touchdown and a pick. But we're going back up to 2025. These teams kind of feel like they're in a little bit of different direction here in 2025. Christian, talk to me about it.
David.
Oh, shit. Let's go.
Let's go. First one. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I know someone else ain't going to come. Let's go.
Anyway.
Shut up. 1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 1, baby.
Yeah, like I said, that was a big win for Buffalo the other day. And see what happens when you let James cook? Good things happen. But I will say this, though. Like, I'm extremely concerned about Buffalo's defense because they couldn't stop TJ's back from getting big. But anyway, yeah, I said what I said. Truthfully speaking, they may have to win games the way they did on Sunday, which is a shootout. Run the ball, sustain long drives, and kind of alleviate that pressure off their defense. And then you look at Houston, there's no excuse for keeping Tennessee in that game as long as they did. You should have put them away.
Yeah,
you did. But I also want to say this: is it me?
I mean, they had to come back and win that game. I mean, Tennessee had the lead for majority of that entire majority of that game.
But David,
they scored 16 points in that second half in order to come back and win that game.
Yeah, I might be the only one saying this, but do you think I'm crazy for saying this offense looks a little better with David Mills? I
said that. I said that on the fantasy show last week. Actually, I think their offense does look better with Davis Mills at helm at the under center.
But I previewed this one on Thursday, an hour before the game. Be on the lookout.
DJ, talk to me about it. Texans, Bills.
Again, I've said nothing but glowing things about Davis Mills. Like, again, he put up numbers with this Texans team. They just didn't equate to a lot of wins, and some of that's not his fault. All right. Like we just saw Jacoby Brissett set an NFL record, right? Another game ball, 47 passes.
47 completions.
47 completions, my bad. Yeah, so I'll never snub some kind of NFL record. If you're the Bills, like, to say that this might have to be the way they win games with shootouts, respectfully, not too many teams got quarterbacks that can match Josh Allen go for go. Baker Mayfield just so happens to be one of them dudes, and it took like you said, it took 6 touchdowns from Josh Allen to get over that hump. Like this, like like the game went out of hand till
The end.
to the late.
I mean, this game was a back and forth affair. It was arguably the best game of the entire weekend. And yeah.
So I mean, I'm going with the Bills for obvious. I mean, like it's no disrespect to it's no disrespect to Davis Mills, but I'm going with Buffalo. Now, if Houston can make shit difficult like they did a year ago, like then hey, it's a different story. But I'm not anticipating that. I think that was a one-off. So give me Buffalo.
So CJ Stroud still in the concussion protocol, will not
Yeah,
play
he's not playing.
in this game. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I just think they have Josh Allen and the Texans currently don't. And Nico Collins. I do think this game is going to be higher scoring than people expect. Man, this Texans defense is for real though. I mean, I don't know. I think this game is going to be closer than I think what we were kind of predicting. As I think Davis Mills
this
will
team
score
is
some
not. I mean, like y'all know that saying, like you are what your record says you are. Like, do y'all really believe that Houston's 5-5? Like, do y'all really believe they a 5-5 team?
No, I think they're worse than that.
You think they worse than 5-5, Christian?
Yeah,
You think
I mean,
they?
I think their offense looks atrocious for majority of the season. If they didn't have what was it, top 5 defense or top 3 defense in the NFL, they'd be lucky to have like 3 wins right now.
That's bold. That's bold.
No, what was the question, TJ?
Like the phrase like you are what your record says you are. Like, do we really believe Houston's 5-5? And David said they're worse than that. He think they're worse than that.
I mean, this year I think he has a point because I remember their first game of the year when they played the Rams. They only gave up 14 points, and they still lost that game. It was the inconsistency of the offense against Tampa Bay. The following week, they only give up 20, and they lose by a point. So it's been offensive.
So like looking at it, not to cut you off, but looking at it like just some of the point totals that they've given up versus what they've scored. Like I said, week 1 Rams, they only give up 14, but they only managed 9. Then they lose to the Buccaneers by 1, 20-19. Then they lose to the Jags by a touchdown, 17-10. Then they blank the Titans, 26-0. They demolished the Ravens, 44-10. Then they lose to Seattle, 27-19. Then they beat the Niners, 26-15. Lose to Denver, 18-15. Then they had to come back a week ago. So this is come back a week ago against the Jags. That was 36-29. And then now this 16-13. So this year, you can argue like they kind of lucky to be 500 right about.
100%. Right. 100%. Because they easily could have lost both of the games the last 2 weeks. And Jalen Petrie, the starting safety for this team, also going to miss this game against the Buffalo Bills. So just keep an eye on that for injury stuff. Moving on from there, we're swinging into Sunday morning, afternoon football, depending on where you are on the planet. We got the Chicago Bears welcoming in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers does not require surgery on that potentially broken hand, but it's not clear if he's going to be able to play in this game. It is his non-throwing hand, but I mean, we'll see. Fractured left wrist for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's going to play. I don't know. I mean, I would be pretty shocked.
I wouldn't play. I mean, grand scheme of things, like, do you need him? I mean, the
Ravens are chomping at the right on their heels, man. If any misstep by Pittsburgh, I mean, because only one team is making a wild card spot out of this division. Making a playoff spot out of this division. It's whoever wins the division. So any misstep by the Steelers, the Ravens are going to pounce all over it. I think if Aaron Rodgers is able to go, they're going to play him. I just don't think he's going to be able to. But Bears Steelers, last time these two teams played 4 years ago, almost to the date. Christian, you remember who won this game 4 years ago?
The Bears won this game 4 years ago.
Incorrect.
Steelers won
this game.
This was the Tony Corrente game.
29-27. The Chicago Bears scored 21 points in the fourth quarter as they tried to come back and win this game. Justin Fields, Ben Roethlisberger was the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers in this matchup. Najee Harris had 22 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown. And Pat Freiermuth had 2 touchdowns in this game as they go on to beat the Bears 4 years ago. TJ, what happens in 2025? Bears, Steelers, Aaron Rodgers' status very much in question in this game.
This is the Tony Corrente game. I'm picking the Bears to win. Pittsburgh, especially since, the Baltimore Ravens have, snuck back into the picture. The Pittsburgh Steelers have hiccups. They winning games. But it's outside of yesterday, because yesterday was an ass whooping. I saw what Darnell Washington did. This grown ass man, he took out 3 people.
That game was semi-competitive into the second half, but.
And it's like with the Steelers, it's I don't know what to make of them. So just the last month or so, you beat the Browns, you lose to the Bengals, you lose to the Packers, you beat the Colts, and you lose to the Chargers, and then you beat the Bengals. So it's which iteration of Pittsburgh am I getting? Now, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, or if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I might not play him this game. But that Buffalo game might play. Aaron, take a week. Just because I doubt he practices this week. I don't think he touches a football this week. Leading up to, and I wholeheartedly wouldn't surprise me if he's some kind of game time decision, and they go from there. But either way, I'm gonna pick the Bears. I'm picking the Bears.
I'm also gonna take the Chicago Bears. I do not think Aaron Rodgers will play in this game. I think it will be Mason Rudolph. So good luck to him. As I'm still on the Steelers for whatever reason that is. And I don't think Howard is ready to play. The kid from OSU. I'll take the Bears. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers was like, "Oh, it's the Bears. I kind of have to play in this game. I have to, beat them like I always do." But I don't think it's going to matter. I think the Bears are on a roll right now. The Bears are just they seem like one of those teams right now that just finds a way to win every single week. Christian,
you can't hear you.
Oh, I was trying to play the clip of Aaron Rodgers saying he owned y'all, but see, I was gonna preview this one because I saw he was trying to play in this one, but I'm with you guys completely. I don't think he should come back for this. The Buffalo game, yeah, most definitely. I like the Bears. Definitely. I like the Bears to keep rolling. I like what the Bears are doing right now. I think this is going to be one of the closer games of the day.
I agree with you on that. Moving on from there, going into the AFC, we got the powerhouse New England Patriots going into Cincinnati, taking on the lowly Bengals. Last time these two teams played was actually last season in week number 1, and the Patriots got the victory 16-10 in that clunky game by Cincinnati. As it came out of the gate, really kind of sluggish, then weren't able to recover for the remainder of the season. With that being said, this is 2025, and New England is the powerhouse right now. Number 1 seed in the AFC East. I think if the playoffs were to start today, I think they'd be the number 1 seed in the entire AFC. Them and the Colts have a similar record. I'm going to go with the Patriots. I have not seen anything out of Cincinnati, especially on defense, that I think fills me with confidence. DJ.
Yeah. What more needs to be said? What more needs to be said? Go ahead.
Moving on from there, back into the NFC, and with the NFC East Giants going into Ford Field in Detroit and taking on the leading Lions. Last time these two teams played was actually 3 years ago, almost to the date, actually. They played on 11/20/2022. The Detroit Lions hung up 31 points on Christian's New York Football Giants as they won 31-18. Christian, what happens in 2025?
Give me the Lions.
I'm also going to take the Lions. I think they bounced back after a pretty abysmal performance against the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot to be said about the play calling and the just decision making by the Detroit Lions in that game against Philadelphia. But I think the Giants. I think they're going to get right in this game.
Yeah, David, I was just about to bring something up about that. They don't call him Gambling Dan for no reason. I mean, 0 for 5 on 4th down. Really? Like, what's wrong with kicking a field goal or just taking points? And look at what happened.
Yeah, I know. TJ, you got anything to say about that?
I mean, like it was obvious he was calling the plays, man. Like take the points they give you. Like it was 16-9. That brother, you do realize if you kick 3 field goals, you probably walk out of there with a dub. Maybe. Like it's like I understand it was windy. I understand it was whatever. But some of the spots he was going for it in, it's just like, yo, what are you doing? It's legit. What are you doing? And he gets away with it. He gets he gets away with it. And it's like it ain't been this bad. I haven't seen this bad of a 4th down case of going for it on 4th down since they played the Niners in that playoff game.
Yeah.
Like that was bad. Like, and unfortunately, this gonna be sort of a get right game for them. Like it is what it is. Like they should win this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think there was a little bit of the elements like they didn't want to necessarily try Jake Bates on long field goals, especially after he missed that extra point from 48 yards. But I the really head scratching decision. I think the Lions. This will be a get right game for the Detroit Lions. Moving on from there, we have the Minnesota Vikings going into Green Bay and taking on the Packers. Packers coming off that victory against the New York Giants. The Vikings obviously coming off losing to our Chicago Bears. But not a great performance for Green Bay. You kind of thought that they want to be dominant after a pretty lackluster performance against the Philadelphia Eagles. Really the last 2 weeks. They lost to Carolina the week before that. But they were just all right against the Jameis Winston-led New York Giants, a game that the Giants could have easily won. Christian, talk to me. Packers, Vikings.
So I finally figured out what the problem is with the Packers. It's the offense and the lack of running the football. I think they're trying to put a little too much on Jordan Love's plate. And you've heard me say this with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills for years since I started analyzing for this show. But if they could run the football, and they missed Tucker Kraft. Yeah. Created mismatches over the middle with a linebacker. You put a safety on him, he's winning that 9 times out of 10. I like Green Bay. Minnesota is just, they're so up and down. Like, yeah, they should have won that game against the Bears the other day, but they didn't. It was almost like they had that game in the grasp of their hands, and they just let it slip. But, I think this is the game where Green Bay can get right because they've really looked lackluster the last 3 games. Didn't look all that good against Carolina. Didn't look all that good again. Didn't look that great against the Eagles, minus the defensive side of the ball. And then there were times they looked shaky against the Giants. I like for them to get back on track here.
No, go ahead.
So Jay McCarthy has thrown a more interceptions than he has thrown touchdowns in so far this season, and he hasn't been remotely good. I know they scored 21 points in the 4th quarter. It was like shades of that comeback last year. Why does ESPN.com say that Minnesota won this game 27-24? What the hell? What? Wait a minute. Anyways, this is okay. Because Minnesota. I mean, JJ McCarthy just hasn't been it. He's throwing bad interceptions late. He doesn't seem to have the rapport that you kind of look for with Justin Jefferson, who's visibly frustrated at times during that game against Chicago. Not getting Jordan Addison involved in the game plan as much as you'd like to either. This is from week 1. Duh. Anyways, I'm gonna take the Packers to win this game, even though I haven't loved what I've seen out of them on offense either. I think the Josh Jacobs injury is really problematic as he kind of stabilizes this offense. I haven't looked to see what his situation is, if that is going to be a multi-week injury. I know it's some sort of knee injury, so I keep an eye on that. But I will take the Packers. I meant to mention this during the Bears. During the Bears-Vikings, or when I was talking about the Bears, I don't know if you noticed when Nashawn Wright got the touchdown, or got that interception, and kind of went down to a knee. Just wanted to give us thoughts and prayers out to the family and friends of John Bean. Was one of the head coaches from Last Coach U. The TV aired on Netflix. Has a bunch of players in the NFL, including C.J. Anderson, Super Bowl winner. He was fatally shot and killed on Thursday in Oakland on campus in a targeted attack. Just thoughts and prayers with him. And Nashawn Wright was clearly very emotional during that game. And if you listen to the interview that he gave after the game, it's got to be tough
to address the frustrations of Justin Jefferson. One, valid, totally valid. He's your best player. You want to make things easy for him. You want to keep him happy. It was frustrating on all fronts because, mind you, it's frustrating on the Minnesota front because you had ample opportunities way before that last drive where you finally got a touchdown. Jordan Addison had a couple drops on third downs that would have went for big plays. Justin Jefferson, JJ McCarthy missed throws to all of them. He missed throws all day. So did Caleb Williams. And therein lies the frustration on the Chicago Bears side because while they won the game, you could tell by Caleb's reaction as that field goal went through, he's looking at this this shouldn't have even come down to that. We should have hung up 30, 35 with the way things were going. On to this game, with the Packers, I asked y'all a week ago, say they beat the Giants, but they struggled. They struggled. This was they needed J-Mo to throw a pick to seal the game. They needed Christian Watson to make an ungodly catch to win the game, to go ahead. So again, what's the narrative about Green Bay going forward? They won the game, but they struggled, and that's kind of been outside of their Detroit game, right? And that was the first game of the season. So
Jordan Love did throw an FTR to Christian Watson in that game against the Giants. It ended up being the game-winning touchdown. That was an absolute dime.
Nonetheless, you're 6-3-1, but when we talk about contenders, are we really that confident? That's the thing. Is the confidence of Green Bay there to be hey, y'all can win it all?
No, it's not, TJ.
It's not there.
No, it's not, because they have a lack of balance offensively, and this defense has put this team in way too many positions. Especially this team their defense has put their offense in way too many positions. Hey, look, we forced a turnover. We got a sack. Do something with it. And they haven't been able to do it. To be honest with you, I've been side-eyeing the Green Bay Packers since they lost to Cleveland.
Cost me my survivor pick. But we'll see which version of Green Bay shows up and which offense this shows up. Moving on from there, we're going to swing into an interconference matchup. We got the Seattle Seahawks going into Nashville, taking on the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, the Titans just got done losing to the Houston Texans. The Seattle Seahawks got beat by the Los Angeles Rams at beautiful SoFi Stadium. Both of these teams are trying to get off the schneid. Which one will? Seahawks, Titans.
Next game.
Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Last time these two teams played was actually 2 years ago. The Seattle Seahawks got the victory 20-19. Geno Smith, Ryan Tannehill was still in Tennessee. Derrick Henry ran for 88 yards, but none of this is relevant. Taking Seattle. Moving on from there, we got potentially a barn burner matchup. We have the upstart Colts coming off their bye, going into Arrowhead and taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in a game that is crazy to say this, but the Kansas City Chiefs have to win this game in order to stay relevant in the AFC West and in the AFC playoff picture. Kansas City has to win this game. Last time these two teams played was 3 years ago, and the Colts actually got the advantage 20-17. Christian, what happens in 2025? Colts, Chiefs, a game. It's crazy to say this at this point in the season. Like, if you had started the season and we asked you, like, when the Colts and the Chiefs play in Week 12, who do you think is going to be in a must-win scenario? Most people would have said the Colts, not Kansas City. But Kansas City has to win this game if they want to stay relevant in the AFC.
David?
Oh, shit, let's go.
Let's go. Oh, shit, let's go is right. 1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 2, baby.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, to me, this is such a big game for both teams. Indy, this is their biggest game, I want to say, since that AFC Championship game, Deflategate. Look, sorry, Indy fans, I hate to bring it up, but they haven't been in a game this big, probably since then. But nah, the Colts have done it, balance offensively in the defense. I just need to see them improve and get a little better from time to time. And, you know, I'm sure Sauce Gardner is going to settle in eventually. In Kansas City, again, it's like the Packers. Their defense is keeping them in games. It's their offense. It's the lack of versatility. They're not running the football. That will help them, I think, so much to kind of just alleviate that pressure off Mahomes. Yeah, I know he could do it, but he shouldn't be throwing the ball a certain amount of times. Yeah, this is a must-win for Kansas City because they're on the outside looking in, and 4 of the teams in the current playoff bracket right now are teams that have beaten the Chiefs: Jacksonville, the Chargers, the Broncos, and Buffalo. So, yeah, they have a steep mountain to climb. I mean, this isn't what we...
and that doesn't even include the Ravens, who are sitting there at 5-5 too. And I haven't looked at the schedule, but
that's the only tiebreaker that they own is over Baltimore. But I previewed this one on Friday, David. Be on the lookout.
Prior to the season, going into the season, the Chiefs had won 17 straight one-score games. They're 0-5 this season.
That's crazy. It's difficult for me to pick against the Chiefs, but I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have his MVP moment in this game, and I think that when we're going to after this game is all said and done, I think Jonathan Taylor will be the leaps and downs the front runner for the MVP. And I know about this quarterback award bullshit, but Jonathan Taylor has been the most important player in the MVP this season.
I'm not. I'm with you.
I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking the Colts.
Taking the Colts. I'll take.
It's difficult though because I do think this is an absolute coin toss game, and this better be the Tony Romo game.
It is.
It is. You already know what it is. Oh, is Tony Romo calling this game? Oh yeah, Kansas City by 10. Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating. It's gonna be that type of game. Part of me wants the Colts to win because I want to see the chaos. I want to see the national media panic that the new Golden Boy might miss the playoffs. Like, oh my God, can you imagine? Can you imagine the playoffs without Pat Mahomes? Yes, I can, because it's happened before. And It'll happen after. It'll happen. It might happen again. Who fucking knows? The NFL does not revolve around Patrick Mahomes. That being said, the other side wants Kansas City to win just because it creates more chaos. Because now they're gonna ask the question of like, if the Kansas City Chiefs get in, what are their odds of winning? It's the same thing with Green Bay. I don't see like nothing about Kansas City right now screams, I have faith in you in winning the championship. These guys look old. They look old, and again, that's attrition. They play. They play until
they
at
play.
least February.
They played the last week of the season every like for the last like 5 years in a row. Like pretty much.
Like, bro, like that, and that happens. Like Travis Kelce looks every bit of how old he is. Same thing with Chris
35.
Jones. Same thing with Chris Jones. Like it's like it fucking happens. That's why it's so frustrating when an Xavier Worthy does something stupid or Rasheed Rice does something stupid and they're not on the and that takes them off the field. Like that's why it's frustrating. Like it's week 12, week whatever, when it was Rasheed Rice, Kelsey, and Xavier. Like the fact that those three guys played their first game together at that point, since they've been on the same team, is sad because somebody's either suspended or hurt. They're out in some way, shape, or form. This game is in Kansas City too, on CBS. Tony Romo calling. Yeah, Chiefs.
Moving on from there, the final game in the late afternoon or the early afternoon window, we got the Jets and the Ravens. The Jets obviously losing Thursday night football to the New England Patriots, and the Ravens beating the Cleveland Browns on Sunday afternoon. The Ravens are on one of the winners of 4 games in a row, are now back relevant into the wild card hunt and really into the AFC North. The Jets, you're just trying to finish off the season strong as you traded away a majority of your good defensive pieces at the trade deadline. You want to see continued growth from Justin Fields to wrap up the season. TJ,
He's
Ravens,
benched.
Jets. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is he hurt?
No, they just benched him. Just doing with Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. So if you're the Jets, so again, like it's frustrating. It's been a frustrating season all the way around. Like now, this talk of like, oh, y'all got to get a new quarterback. Like once again, hey, I just harken back to the shit that Woody Johnson said. If I'm a quarterback, I'm not going to the Jets. Why? So when I have a bad stretch, the owner can come out and say, I'm the reason we bad. No rookie.
They do need a new quarterback. Like whatever you want to say about it. Like they
Whatever,
need to draft somebody.
and that's fine. They can need a new quarterback all they want. I'm telling you, if I'm any quarterback prospect, if I'm any quarterback free agent, I'm not playing for Woody Johnson. I am not finna be the scapegoat. I am not finna be thrown under the bus. Once again, I'm not finna have a bad stretch when I need my team to stand by me just for the owner to be like, well, if we had better, any coach would struggle with that quarterback play. You paid me. I didn't hold a gun to your head and say, give me a deal or else. You gave me that money. And when shit goes bad, you throw me under the bus. No. So if I'm Fernando Mendoza, if I'm Dante Moore, if I'm any quarterback coming out in the draft this year, and the New York Jets call me, I'm telling my agent, tell them thanks, but no thanks. No, you're not finna throw me under the bus. Woody Johnson go straight to hell. Ravens by 30.
I'm also going to take the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens are clicking on all cylinders right now at the right time. They're going to have their presence be told when it comes to January, February football. Christian.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I will say this though. I wasn't really happy with what I saw from Baltimore on Sunday because they let Cleveland hang around a little too much.
They were a Chidobe Awuzie a great play away from that game being tied. That was a great throw by Shador. That was an even better play by Awuzie to knock that ball out his hand.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. But Baltimore always seems to get their toughest battles from Cleveland in Cleveland. So I wasn't really surprised that game was as close.
I mean, and Miles Garrett just continues to be an absolute man-child.
Did that stat say 6 straight seasons of 12 or more sacks?
He's the best.
I mean,
TJ, what did I tell you when Aaron Donald retired? The
Hey,
belt.
it's on him now.
It's on him.
It's on him now. I mean, like now, if you wanted to argue that it was already on him, you could have that argument. But it's for sure on him now. Like, come on, man. Like, that's insane. That's like, dude is not human.
Yeah, like Miles Garrett's on a whole other level. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, Christian, go ahead.
That's all I pretty much got. But I like.
Hey, real quick. If you was to put Miles Garrett up against, let's just say, like some of the best left tackles this game has ever seen, like
Joe Thomas, like let's say he's going up against Joe Thomas.
Let's just say he go up against Joe Thomas. Like, let's just say for the sake of this conversation, Miles Garrett plays for a different team, and Joe Thomas is lined up across from him. How many sacks do you think Miles Garrett get on Joe Thomas?
I think he gets at least 2.
Give him 2. Give him 2.
I say 1.5.
Give him a sack and all right. What about let's Orlando Pace.
I think he gets shut out against Orlando Pace.
Yeah, I think he gets shut out against Orlando Pace. I think he gets shut out against Jonathan Ogden because Jonathan Ogden kind of played like a defensive end on the offensive line. He has long arms. He's 6'9".
He's 6'9". Yeah.
Moving on from there, speaking of the Cleveland Browns, they're taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. This game is in the Death Star in Las Vegas. Dylan Gabriel still in the concussion protocol, so I have no idea who's going to be the starting quarterback. If I was going to guess, I'd say it's probably going to be Shedeur Sanders, but I do not know for sure. And then, the Raiders, obviously, they just had that devastating loss to the Dallas Cowboys, where, Gino, nothing in their offense really looked good in that game. And Cleveland, I mean, this defense is big time. Could have easily beaten the Ravens on Sunday afternoon. Both these teams are 2-8. Both these teams kind of need to get a victory, but who does? Christian.
Oh, Jesus. Now you talking about this being a big old bowl of suck. My God. Wow. The Browns, the Raiders, the Browns. Picking the Raiders will pretty much go against everything I stand for, wouldn't it, TJ?
Man, this is like having to choose between chitlins and pig feet. They both nasty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what? Damn it. I'm making a first on the show. This game ended in a tie.
Wow.
Last time these two teams played was actually last season. The Las Vegas Raiders got the victory 20-16. Starting quarterbacks for these two teams, Deshaun Watson for the Cleveland Browns, and for the Raiders, do you know who it was for the Raiders?
Aiden O'Connell?
Not Aiden O'Connell.
Minshew.
Gardner Minshew was the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. And unfortunately for the Las Vegas Raiders, Gardner Minshew ain't walking through that door. And Myles Garrett still walking through that door. Give me the Browns. This defense is going to be big time. I think Geno Smith has a terrible day at the office. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets benched after this game. So
I'm also going with I'm going with the Browns. Shedeur is probably going to get the start, hopefully. Obviously, no one is talking about the game. I'm gonna say this: like, everybody's making a big deal, and rightly so, I might add, that he didn't get reps. That yesterday was his first time taking reps with the ones, and everybody's sitting there like, "Well, what's the big deal? Like, most backups don't take reps with the starters." Yeah, that's not the case for backup quarterbacks. All these Emmanuel Acho, I was a backup. Motherfucker, you were a linebacker. You're not seeing the field every play. You're not touching the ball every play. The quarterback touches the ball every play. The quarterback makes decisions every play.
It would also be a lot different if, like, the starting quarterback in Cleveland was somebody super established, like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning or even like a Joe Flacco, those kind of guys. I mean, Dylan Gabriel is somebody that we don't even know if he's any good or not. And injuries happen in the NFL, so you probably should have your backup quarterback at least a little bit ready to play.
A little bit. And David, you want to know why that also, like, that argument holds no ground with the Dylan? Because Dylan Gabriel was taking reps with the ones. Even when Flacco and Pickett were there, Dylan Gabriel was taking reps with the ones. They traded Pickett away. Dylan Gabriel was taking reps with the ones. So, like, this notion of, oh, the backup doesn't take reps with the ones. They literally did it with Dylan Gabriel. They did it with him while Flacco was there. So for Kevin Stefanski to come out and say, oh, this was his first time taking reps with the ones, the offensive linemen who have to block for him, I've only heard his cadence once or twice. Y'all don't see that? Do you not think that's a problem? How are you not seeing that's a problem? Cam Newton was more established in Carolina. Like, he was a super established in Carolina. Even he said, my head coach Ron Rivera told me, hey, we one play away from having to go to the backup. He gave the backup reps with the ones, David. Gave the back, like, it's so, like,
whoever his backup was at the
whoever
time.
his backup was at the time, they took reps with the ones. They took so if it's Shedeur Sanders gonna be starting this game come Sunday, let's see what he does. Let's see what he does with a week. Let's just see what happens, because, like, it's not like he lining up against, some slouch out there. Hey, that is Max Crosby that's gonna be coming for him. And what Baltimore did, hey, that's just a sick individual that is John Harbaugh, because and they defensive coordinator, because the minute Shedeur came in and
they the house everyone.
They sent the house, because it's like, hey, they don't know, like, they see the shit, bro. Like, they see it. They know Stefanski is not doing right by this dude. They know it, they see it, and they made him pay for it. And also with this, so he didn't have reps with the ones, right? Dylan Gabriel did, and he still only threw for 21 more yards than him. Like, he threw 47 yards going in cold.
Yeah. I mean, they basically had the same amount of play time, though. I mean, they both played at half, but
you know what? I'm gonna just join you guys. I'm taking Cleveland. Myles Garrett, I think, gonna win this game by himself.
But David, they had the same play. Like, so, like, can't you admit that that's different? Like, Dylan Gabriel been getting the reps and shit. Shedeur going in cold with no reps, no rapport, no nothing. Like, that's different. You have to argue that's different.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel was playing okay. Like, he had him in a position to win. He was just they weren't asking him to do anything that was otherworldly.
David.
He was 7 of 10 for 68 yards.
David, the Browns recovered a muff punt at the 6-yard line. Dylan Gabriel couldn't get a touchdown. He couldn't score. He couldn't score a touchdown. He couldn't lead a touchdown drive with a muff punt at the 6-yard line.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel hasn't been like Cleveland hasn't won a lot of games. It hasn't really been because of Dylan Gabriel. He's been mostly fine.
He ain't helping, David. Stop lying. What is mostly fine? They played the Miami Dolphins, and the Miami Dolphins player was literally mic'd up saying, come on, Dylan. Throw me the ball, Dylan. And he threw him the fucking ball. Come on, man.
I mean, they beat Miami. It was 13.
I'll take that back. That was two.
He didn't throw a single pick in that game. What are you talking about?
Christian over there smoking. I see Christian. He's smoking.
Moving on from there, staying in the late afternoon window, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, fresh off beating the Los Angeles Chargers at beautiful, whatever that stadium is called there in Jacksonville, going into Glendale, Arizona, and taking on the Cardinals, fresh off getting pounded by the San Francisco 49ers.
No, that's Baltimore. I was going to say M&T Stadium, but I think
No,
that's Baltimore.
I don't remember what the name of that stadium. So it's TIA Bank Field in
There we go.
Jacksonville. It's got the hot tub and the swimming pool in the stadium. Last time these two teams played was actually 4 years ago. Christian, who won this game 4 years ago?
Was it Arizona?
Arizona did win this game, and they were on to a hot start 4 years ago. They were 3-0 after this game. Jacksonville falls to 0-3. I think this is when Urban Meyer was still head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 31-19. Arizona wins this game. This game was also in Jacksonville, but this one is in Arizona. TJ, talk to me about it.
Well, like I said it earlier, shout out to Jacoby Brissett. NFL record, 47 completions.
47 to 57, by the way. That completion percentage.
Right, that's that like it ain't like right. He won like 47 to 80 or 47 to 70. Like, hey, he only had 10 incompletions. Like that's some damn good, throwing of the football right there. It also begs the question, bro, did they run the ball? Did they try to?
I know a lot of their running backs are hurt there in Arizona, so maybe not. I also know they were taking it the whole game, so they were getting beat off the starting blocks pretty much. I mean, it was 25-10 at halftime. It only got worse in the second half. They did run the ball 14 times for 36 yards, 2.6 yards per clip.
So they didn't try. They didn't try at all.
Their starting running back in this game had 5 carries. So
yeah, they didn't try at all. I'm going with Jacksonville. Like they need this one. They need this one. If I can pull it up, Jacksonville is
they're 6-4.
6-4,
and they're probably the second wild card team right now, or at least maybe the first team in the playoffs.
If the playoffs were to start today, they are the last team in. They are the 7th seed.
Yeah.
So you need this one, right, to stay on pace with the Chargers, who are in front of you. I mean, you just beat them. I mean, no, you didn't. They did. Yeah, you did. You just beat them, and that's kind of like that's also what's frustrating about them. Like, you have a game like that where you put up 35 points and you make Justin Herbert's life a living hell. Justin Herbert didn't even throw for 100 yards.
Yeah, you don't have to remind me.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Not really, but it is.
I'm wearing my Justin Herbert shirt right now.
And so you're Jacksonville, like, yeah, you need this one. You need this one to stay afloat. Because like I said, like Houston's 5-5. Houston wins on Thursday, they're 6-5. So like now they already a game behind you. So like if you lose and they win, now y'all got the same record. And they got the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Because they split the season series, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they only played once. Or maybe they played. I don't know.
Wait. Oh damn. This is Jacksonville.
Yeah, they played twice and they split the season series.
Okay.
So I don't know what the next tiebreaker would be.
Probably division.
Yeah, because I remember the division record.
I don't know. Because you've broken this down to to a T, to like the last, like if everything's tied, like what would be like the last
coin flip or strength of schedule, something like that. With that being said, I'm taking the Jaguars too. I haven't seen anything out of the Cleveland Browns or the Arizona Cardinals, especially on offense. I know Jacoby Brissett is throwing the football a ton. Maserati Marv probably returns in this game as well. Trey Benson, also somebody who could return any game now for the Arizona Cardinals and give them a little bit of stability at that running back position. But this Jacksonville Jaguars defense is pretty big time, and they gave Justin Herbert all he can handle. I expect them to give Jacoby Brissett all he can handle as well. Give me the Jaguars.
Yeah, give me the Jags.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm taking Jacksonville. Just trust them a little bit more. I don't think anything else really needs to be said.
Moving on to a absolute slapper knocker of an NFC East matchup with the Dallas Cowboys getting off the schneid, coming off their bye after they lost 2 games in a row, welcoming in the Philadelphia Eagles into Jerry World. Eagles obviously coming off beating the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football and been playing a smothering brand of defense for the last 2 weeks against both NFC North powerhouses in back-to-back weeks. Cowboys, obviously, they beat the Las Vegas Raiders. Take that what you will. This is a big time game for both of these two teams, as the Eagles are currently the number 1 seed in the NFC and would have the first round bye if the playoffs were to start today. Dallas, they are sitting right now at 10th place. They would need some help even to get into the playoffs, but they need to win games to control their own destiny. It starts with this game against Philadelphia. Christian, do they get it done?
No, I don't think they do. And you know, you mentioned the Eagles playing a smothering brand of defense. Let me tell you both this: when they play like this and they challenge another team's manhood, I think this is the most physical team in the league. Plain and simple.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, you know, and when they met in week 1, you know, there was a big ass man child that wasn't there. Jalen Carter
kicked out real early.
He got kicked out right away.
And I don't think Jordan Davis played in that game either.
No, he didn't. I think that makes the difference on Sunday. I like Philly.
I mean, if them trading for Jalen Phillips, man, it's been an absolute. You couldn't have asked for a better scenario. You trade for a guy and have him have this kind of impact on your franchise 2 weeks in a row. I mean, Tolly Roseman's got to be sitting there on his tower, sitting there all feeling really good about that decision. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys get this done. I think they fall to 4-6-1, and that probably puts an end to their playoff hopes for this season, as they would have to basically hope that the Seattle Seahawks, a lot would have to go their right way, with all the teams in the NFC North kind of falling apart as the season was to continue. Give me the Eagles, TJ.
Yeah,
I imagine this is Tom Brady's game probably too.
Probably. Yeah, Jordan, what's his name? Jordan Davis won out. Jalen Carter got kicked out. I don't like that being said, the Cowboys were what? I think CD Lamb had 4 drops, or did they have 4 drops as a
I know he had a bunch of drops in that game. So
he had a bunch of drops in that game. I don't anticipate that to be the same. But the only reason that was a game was because those 2 man children in the middle were not there. Like, the minute Jalen Carter got kicked out, the first thing they did was what? Establish Javonte Williams. They ran the ball. He literally ran it down their throat. I think he got 2 touchdowns. If I remember correctly, he got 2 touchdowns that game. Offensively, so like this is the game if you're Philly and you still struggle offensively, like you can't, like Jalen Hurts don't throw for a party, then it's like, all right, what are we doing? Because AJ Brown he's making waves, he's making headlines for the stuff he's saying about the offense, and everybody is hyping it up like, yo, we're winning. They winning. Like, I don't get it. Why is he so disgruntled? Like, AJ Brown only cares about his numbers and da. No, AJ Brown is saying how we're winning right now is not sustainable. We're gonna run into somebody who can put points on the board, and one of these days, one of these games, we're gonna have to match them point for point. We're not doing that, scoring 16 a game.
Yeah,
we're not. Like, the goal for the Eagles, and it has been for a long time now, it's not just win. Like, this is a team that's won 2 Super Bowls in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit longer than that. So what are we doing? Like, so yeah, I'm taking the Eagles, but I'm keeping an eye on this one. I'm trying to see how they look in this
one. Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles as well. Moving on from the NFC East to the NFC South, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints and Falcons, letting the Panthers steal one from them in overtime in week number 11. The Saints, they've been waiting to play after they beat the Carolina Panthers and got Tyler Shuck his first NFL victory. Had a bye week last week. Saints, Falcons. Michael Penix, I think, has gone into the IR.
He's not playing.
Yeah, will not play in this game. So it goes back to Kirk Cousins, under center for the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, Saints. I think I'm going to take the Saints. I think I think that they're. I don't know. I think this is one of those games where it could go either way. I'm going to take the Saints though, but I don't really have a rationale or a reason about it. I just haven't really enjoyed what the Atlanta Falcons have been doing on offense or both sides of the ball really over the last couple of weeks. This is a Falcons team that should be better than it is, and it just isn't. Christian,
I'm with you, David. I'm taking the Saints. I don't trust the Atlanta Falcons. Like I commonly known to say, I have 283 reasons why I don't trust them. But yeah, you said it best. Carolina really stole the game from them the other day, and yeah, the Saints, they're off that bye week, saw something that they liked with this kid the other day, and Tyler Shug. Yeah, I'm gonna take New Orleans.
TJ.
Yeah, I don't think that if you had to poll fans and be like just not fans of the team, like just in general NFL fans, and you used to ask them what is the most frustrating team in the NFL, I'm willing to bet the Falcons would be pretty high on that list. And David's shaking his head like, yeah, because I done put a lot of stock in these motherfuckers over the last.
I mean, it's on top of that. I mean, they have all of the talent in the world on both sides of this football. I mean, you have Bijan Robinson. Many people talk about him being the number one running back in the NFL. You got Drake London, arguably a top 5 running back. And then on the defensive side, I mean, you have AJ Terrell, who many people think is arguably the best corner in the NFL. And, Jesse Bates, arguably the best.
And has come a long way. AJ Terrell for the first 2 years of his career was burnt toast.
Yeah, but I mean, he's really turned his career around. I mean, this is a team that has talent. They just can't seem to put it together for an entire game most of the time. Yeah, Atlanta Falcons, super frustrating to be if you're a fan of the Falcons, I have kudos to you.
I'm kind of with you. Excuse me. I want to ride with the Saints. Because if you're Kirk Cousins and you can't win this one, yeah, bro, hang him up. It's time. But I'm gonna go with the Saints. I don't feel good about it though.
Moving on from there, Sunday night football, and we have what could be an absolute barn burner in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going into L.A. Beautiful SoFi Stadium, taking on the Rams. And actually, so this is a rematch of an epic playoff game 3 years ago, where Tom Brady, where the Los Angeles Rams on the way to going to the Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford versus Tom Brady in that matchup. And Baker Mayfield actually, after he was released by the Carolina Panthers, I think 2 or 3 years ago, he gets signed by the Los Angeles Rams. He's there for a week, and he ends up having to play in that game, ends up winning the game for the Los Angeles Rams. And a lot of things like him being able to play that well in that short amount of time. I remember the announcers made such a big deal about it, but I mean, it basically was the reason he ended up in Tampa Bay. And as they say, the rest has been absolutely history, as he's been awesome for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And at one point this season was the front runner for the MVP. That certainly has cooled off because of the play of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers around them. I have no idea if Bucky Irving's going to play. He's dealing with a bunch of injuries, shoulder and foot. I would imagine he's probably going to miss another game. But they have to like what they saw out of Sean Tucker. Rashad White continues to be steady. But this Rams team, I mean, they just seem like they're on a trajectory that's going to take them potentially to the Super Bowl. Christian, talk to me.
Come on, David. Let's wrap this up.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, on my count. 1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 3, baby.
Yeah, Tampa Bay has come back down to reality since that 5-1 start. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. That was a tough loss on Sunday in Orchard Park against Buffalo because their offense gave them plenty of opportunities to Their offense put them in position to either tie the game or take the lead, but defense gave it up. So defense was extremely optional in that game. And I just think the injuries have caught up to Tampa Bay. I'm looking at Rashad White. I think he's going to be the X factor here for Tampa Bay because he's a phenomenal blocker. He's going to have to protect Baker Mayfield's blind side. He's a threat in the passing game and taking handoffs out the backfield. And, you look at the Rams, I think this is the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC right now. I mean, these are probably the top two teams in the NFC, Philly and Los Angeles. The Rams are rolling. I love what their defense did on Sunday, picking off Sam Darnold 4 times. And the Rams showed me that they can win games in different ways. They can either slow the game down and ugly it up, or they can win the shootout. I preview this one tomorrow. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, I think the injuries, especially the Bucky Irving injury, I think he's such an X factor for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, obviously Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, it kind of looks like he's not the same guy as he was a couple of years ago. The injuries are kind of eating up his career. Lost some pieces on that offensive line there for Tampa Bay. And this Rams team, I mean, they can seem to be able to win the shootouts. They can also win the ugly muck it up games, as we saw against Houston, and kind of that game we saw against Seattle this upcoming weekend, this past week. I'm going to take the Rams. I just think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what was a really nice story to begin the season at 5-1, injuries has really taken the toll on this roster. Give me the Rams. TJ.
Agreed. Just to echo y'all, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good, as a quarterback, I don't care how good you are. If you constantly if you're constantly having to deal with interchangeable parts, especially when especially when you're when you've been spoiled offensively, I don't think I can argue that Baker Mayfield has probably been one of the most spoiled quarterbacks ever. Look at the run games he's had in Cleveland. Look at the receivers he's had in Cleveland. Then to go to Tampa Bay, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, then you draft Egbuka, you got Cade out in that tight end, and you still got 2 solid running backs there. For you to not have those dudes, and it showed Sunday, right? You put up 32 points and you didn't have all your key guys. So it's just one of those, imagine if I had my key guys. Am I 6-4 right now? Probably not. I'm probably 8-2, 7-3, something. Football's a war of attrition for a reason. Give me the Rams.
Moving on from there to the Christian McCaffrey Bowl, as we got the San Francisco 49ers. Hold on, let me see. San Francisco 49ers welcoming in the Carolina Panthers into Levi Stadium for Monday Night Football. Last time these two teams played was actually 3 years ago. San Francisco 49ers got the advantage 37-15. And actually, so this will be the first time that Chris McCaffrey will go up against the Carolina Panthers, because in that game 3 years ago, Chris McCaffrey had 14 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown, but he was outdone by the combination of Jeffrey Wilson and Tevin Coleman on the other side, who combined for 2 touchdowns and 43 yards rushing, as Jimmy Garoppolo and Baker Mayfield was the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers in that game 3 years ago. But what's going to happen in this game, Christian? But Brock Purdy back under center looked good in that first game against the Arizona Cardinals. Kind of starting to get healthy, kind of at the right time there for San Francisco as they try to make a push towards the playoffs here to wrap up the regular season. Talk to me about 2025.
See, this is one of those games that can go either way because, Carolina, they're playing well. They're playing a lot better than I think a lot of people anticipated of them. And San Francisco, despite the injuries, they've still been keeping afloat. I got to give them that. I'm going to take San Francisco, but I won't be surprised if Carolina were to take it.
Just to echo, just same thing. I have nothing else to add. Same thing what Christian said.
If the playoffs were to start today, so San Francisco is the 7th seed and the Carolina Panthers are the 9th seed. So in a way, this game is going to go a long way deciding who will be a playoff team in the NFC. I will take the San Francisco 49ers because I just still think they're a better football team. And I think they're going to get some pressure under Bryce Young, who looked great in that game against the Atlanta Falcons. Really got his young receivers going. Xavier Legit had a good game. And Tedero McMillan, man, he had like 2 touchdowns in that game. If you played fantasy, he had over 30 fantasy points on my bench.
I'm still echoing what Christian said. Like, I'm taking the Niners, but wouldn't be surprised if Carolina won. The point I'm getting to is, if you're a young quarterback like a Bryce Young and you have the day you had Sunday, what's the expectation going into this new game? Because you threw for over 400 and what was it exact?
448 yards and 4 touchdowns.
All right, so that's a franchise record, right? You're not going to. Obviously, you go into every game thinking you're gonna do that, right? You're gonna throw for a fuck ton of yards and so on and so forth. But the one thing he can't do, and we can end it after this, is you had that game a week ago. You can't go into this game and lay a complete goose egg. Like, you cannot go 17 to 40, 150 yards, and the offense looks ugly. That can't happen. That can't happen.
With that being said, I will take the San Francisco 49ers as well, but I wouldn't be surprised even in the slightest if Carolina ends up coming out and getting the victory in this game. I think Carolina has been one of those nice stories so far this 10th season. I think Dave Canales has done a great job coaching this football team as well in his second season. But I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. They're getting sort of healthy at the right time. But thank you very much for joining us. That's been our Week 11 Monday Night Football recap. And then we got into week number 12 with our previews of every game on the slate. And in case you missed it, there are 4 teams on a bye, including the Broncos, Dolphins, Chargers, and Commanders. So if you're a fan of those 4 teams, you're going to have to find something else to watch this weekend. If you're a Dolphins fan, that might be a blessing. But thank you very much for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm David Huffman, right there for the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson, and also TJ had to bounce from the podcast early, but he's the co-host here at Prime Sports World. And Christian, what do we do here at the Prime, my friend?
We bring the heat, baby.
Yes, sir. We'll be back here tomorrow with Fantasy Football Weekly. Izzy should be back with us on that show. He's been doing the Super Bowl in their football league, the 10-year-old football league that he's in. So shout out to Izzy and being a super dad. Shout out to little Izzy winning that Super Bowl and that championship. Love to see it.
Absolutely.
See you later, brother.
Yep.